Well, it is obviously a very dramatic day in the history of this time slot here at KNBR, and we will take you all through it. We will all get through this together, okay? And first and foremost, everything's going to be okay. Okay, everything's going to be okay. Second of all, the 49ers freaking killed the Eagles yesterday, okay? And so before I get to, obviously, the big stuff that happened, I just want to say, because I kind of feel like my role has been, as I've been told by all the kids in the office here, my role as sort of cornball, cringy dad guy. You know what I mean? I'm that guy. And I'm going to open with kind of a cornball, cringy dad guy take, which is I kind of think that Niner win was for Paulie Mack. I do. And here's my reason. Here's my reason before I get going here and tell everybody what happened. Number one, it's Paulie Mack's Niners running amok. It's Deebo waving at the crowd. It's just Paul. I could feel Paulie through the TV. Number two, Big Dom. Are you kidding me? We can't have a game when some guy from Philly named Big Dom with an Italian flag on the side of his hat gets ejected without me thinking about Paulie Mack. And then, of course, Sirianni with the visor and the Italian flag. So when all those guys went down, I said, I think Paulie Mack's telling us it's okay. Go do the show. So I'm back, everybody. The Murph and Marcus show begins. And if you didn't know, and I think you probably do know by now, the Murph and Mac show is no more. And we can talk about that in the coming hours, days, weeks, months, whatever. We'll talk about it. It's not going to get solved in the first segment here today. But I am going to tell everybody this, is that while the Murph and Mac show is no more, we're still here. And the one thing I'm going to say, in all the stuff that's gone down since Wednesday, the one thing I'm going to say is that the best thing that they could have done is keep it in the family. And with that, we launch the Murph and Marcus show. Because sitting to my left, and I feel like I can hear Paulie Mack's applause right now, in the soundboard, is Marcus Boucher, a.k.a. the Waterboy, a.k.a. El Chico de Agua, a.k.a. Bobby Boucher, a.k.a. my partner.
That's it, Murph.
Good morning, Marcus.
And good morning, my man. I just want to say I love you. I love Paulie Mack, man. I know this is going to be hard for you to get through. It was hard for me on Friday. But as I signed off on Friday, we played toys. We played 2 joints. And I said, let's put some positive particles in the air so that Paulie Mack can get a win over Nick Sirianni. And luckily for us, the Eagles went out there and got beat down in their own stadium by the 49ers. So it's a lot easier coming in this morning with a 49er win, dealing with the news, obviously.
Can you imagine
and I'm glad to have you back.
if the 49ers had lost 42-19?
This would have been one of the darkest days in KNBR history, Murph.
Oh, my God. We would be sitting in here trying to piece it together, trying to explain what happened. So, honestly, I want to thank the particle gods for that game. I guess I should specifically thank Deebo Samuel. I mean, the city of brotherly Deebos. And it all started with his arrival.
Dude.
Which you have to, I saw Rod Brooks breaking science. Of course, I am a KNBR postgame guy for sure. But Rod Brooks was breaking science about what Deebo was wearing. And you were helping me out on this, too.
Well, it was Deebo. It was Christian McCaffrey. It was Trent Williams. I mean, Murph, maybe we should have took some hints from the 49ers. Maybe we should have been sending some subliminals today showing up in all black. 49ers showed up with the black Air Forces ready to go.
So stop right there. The black Air Forces.
Yeah, you got to have those black Air Forces. Murph.
Okay, I thought, you know me, I try to keep up. Keep up with the kids. I'm like, hey, you guys heard the new Dua Lipa track? It's a real toe tapper. You know what I mean? But the black Air Forces has slipped past me in terms of its symbolic meaning.
Oh, it means it's go time, Murph. Like, everybody wants to take care of their pearly white Air Forces. You can't get them dirty.
Okay.
But if you know you're going into a scrap, you know you're about to get down and dirty, that's when you lace up those black Air Forces,
Okay.
Murph.
Okay.
And that's when you know it means business.
Hey, Waterboy, how we doing with the silver, the silver dad vans?
Now, I will say they
there?
match the glasses, Murph, but I know you're a little bit more intimidating with that beard, but
and the beard.
It's not the same as the black Air Forces.
Which, by the way, we need to discuss at some point after we get past this night, because I began to try to trim it for the first time last night. I don't know if I went too far. We'll have to figure that one out.
It's almost now disappearing on the screen. Back last week, we were talking about the beard being better than ever, but hey, Murph, the beard is still undefeated.
The beard is undefeated.
The 49ers have not lost a game since the beard was grown.
I will share many, many anecdotes about all the stuff that went down from last Wednesday and all that, but I will tell you this, after all went down, and Paulie Mack and I were standing on the sidewalk outside, I think he's okay with me sharing all this stuff, and we were you're in shock, right?
Yeah,
you're in
of course.
shock. And I kind of trying to remember, but the one thing I do remember saying is, there was a brief lull as we were trying to figure out what just happened, and then I said, might be this effing beard.
I don't think it was that, Murph.
I said, this blanking beard.
That's it. Like the show's only big enough for one beard.
We didn't, we tried to cross all our T's and dot our I's before we went in the show, but we didn't cover the calling in of the win. We're not ready to do, is he ready to do that or no?
I have a 49er win package ready to go if you want me to personally call it in for you, Murph.
I honestly feel like this is the best way to get going. And by the way, everybody, we are still on the YouTube. You can see, I do want to say that amidst all the tumult and change, the one thing I will say, A, we kept it in the family. B, Marcus is a great kid and dude and personality and friend, and I'm going to enjoy the hell out of being with him. But the most important thing I'm going to say is that on YouTube and Twitch, he's a good-looking guy.
Thank you,
He's a good-looking guy. And I think we're going to get up, everybody's like, hey, how are the ratings in the demo? I'm going to say, how are the ratings in the thirst trap demo? Is my thing there. I'm going
slide into my DMs.
I'm going with the Marcus as the thirst trap demo.
It's open. I don't know. I don't know if I'm as sexy as Paulie Mack stripping down.
You know what? Yeah. Paulie Mack had a damn sex appeal about him. He did. Ladies, you know what? I was going through all the comments on social and pinching and zooming on. I was like, look at the ladies. Look at the ladies coming in for Paulie Mack.
Ladies love Cool J. They love Paulie Mack too, Murph.
Well, it's the music, right? It's the guitar.
That's it.
And he said that's why he put the guitar.
They always love the musicians, yeah.
So some things will change in the show going forward. Some things will stay the same. Many of them will be sorted out in the new year because we only have a handful of shows left this year before I go to Ireland on Friday. That's right. I'm going to freaking Ireland on Friday. And Walmart's going to Boston. He's going halfway to Ireland.
I'll be in Boston for the Army-Navy game this week.
I'm going to wave at you when I'm flying over. So you're going to be in Boston Friday. I'm going to be in Dublin Friday. And then when we come back, we'll do a week. And then after that, it starts to scatter for Christmas. So what we're going to do is keep some of the things the same up until the new year. And that includes the old newspaper guy has to call him in. It ain't official until you call it in. So we had, of course, we appointed Silk Wilkes as the guy to call it in. Steve Silk Wilkes, sideline Steve. How's that working out, by the way?
Undefeated. Hasn't lost a game since he left the booth.
I feel like the reason why the Niners held the Eagles to 2 field goals in those first drives was because of sideline Steve.
It's because Steve was on the sideline telling people to stop it. Yeah.
So he calls it in to Roger Goodell. Goodell says, wait a minute. This was in Philly. This was where they were going to dominate you. This is the 10-1 Eagles. This is the den of hell that is Lincoln Financial Field. And he said, that's right, you overpaid mannequin. And the West Coast, we play some ball.
We play some ball on the West Coast, Murph. On the zesty West Coast.
We got to get into that, too. Put that into the books. You overpaid mannequin. San Francisco 49ers 42, Philadelphia Eagles 19.
Beautiful people. Beautiful people.
Bang, bang, Niner gang. Bang, bang, Niner gang.
Oh, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, no Kittle.
The Kittle comes from the other side of the glass. Like I said, we're making some changes around here. I'll make sure to update that before next week's game against the Seahawks.
It's all still good. And what you said right before we called it in needs to be talked about because so many of the extracurriculars, we talked about the Black Air Force, Air Force Ones, you said?
Yeah, all Black Air Forces.
Yeah, all Black Air Forces. But we were sending each other material before the show, and there was one of those parking lot scenes.
Oh, dude.
Of Eagles fans screaming at Niners fans. And these guys, I mean, they're just like a different... It's hard to describe the animal level of the
rabid fan base.
I mean, there's the movie Silver Linings Playbook is one of the many movies that's kind of brushed up against Philadelphia Eagles fans. In that movie, Eagles fans brawl with Eagles fans. All right, you know what I mean? It's like it's brawl on brawl. But this was live. This was not a movie. Do you have that sound? I don't know if we don't. Don't worry about it. We'll work on it later. But there's a guy screaming at Niners fans, and at one point he yells, "This ain't the zesty West Coast."
The zesty West Coast.
By the way, I have to say, great line.
It made me chuckle.
It made me laugh.
Not going to lie.
And then, Waterboy, flash to late third quarter as Deebo is streaking down the field. Your lunatic partner here, and I mean lunatic because I was in one of those, I was in my bag yesterday, Waterboy. I was very emotional. Maybe a lot going on. Maybe as the great Vince Vaughn said in Swingers, maybe he had his own things going on. I was up screaming at the TV, "That's the zesty West Coast.
That's it.
That's the..." And Declan had his buddy, his high school baseball teammate buddy there watching the game with us, and they're like, "Oh my God, my dad.
He's losing it.
My dad."
Uh-oh. Someone's got to reel Murph back in.
I think a kid got a kick out of it. By the way, this kid I've talked about before, he's our ace pitcher from our section champion 11-year-old All-Stars, Henry.
Oh, what's up, Henry?
I know. Since Henry was Henry showed up in a McCaffrey jersey and was laughing his A off at the crazy dad. But let me tell you what, Waterboy, if they had me mic'd up in the first quarter, I was not happy.
That's an entire different game.
I think I was tense. I was obviously emotional from the last few days.
Yeah.
And I just hated how it started. Hated, right? The 3 and out. The tipped pass right away on the first. First of all, I don't know why he didn't run the ball in the first play.
I don't know why we didn't go the whole entire first quarter without handing the ball off to Christian McCaffrey. Like, you're absolutely right. The Eagles came out and punched the 49ers in the mouth. But they responded. They held them to 2 field goals, which didn't put me in too big of a panic mode. But after seeing the first quarter, I think we were all kind of shell-shocked by what was going on in Philadelphia.
I was literally saying things like, they're getting dominated on the line of scrimmage, and Jalen Hurts is getting... Dude, in the first quarter, Hurts had, 7-8 seconds to throw sometimes?
Well, dude, how about that? And then A.J. Brown over the middle, just bouncing off bodies. Here's the rookie Jair Brown trying to tackle him in open field. He's busting loose. Here's Devontae Smith on, a 3rd and 19.
Yes.
Like I was like, uh-oh. Are the tackling issues back? What's going on here?
It was really discouraging, but the fact that, and this obviously is maybe the biggest thing of all, holding them to 2 field goals. But I still, even at the end of the first quarter when it was 6-0, I was still pissed. Because the Niners were about to get the ball on the 15-yard line. I was like, what, are they going to go 85 after going 3 and out? Well, guess what?
Guess what they did?
They went 85 after going 3 and out. And it was the big 3rd down pass to, I believe, Kittle got the play-by-play right in front of me here.
Yeah, it was like a swing pass for 32 yards, got them all the way down into the 10-yard line.
So they go, at the end of the first quarter, they're down 6-0, and it feels bad. Feels bad, baby. Feels bad.
It feels real bad.
And the Niners get the ball at the 15-yard line here. Yeah, and here it is. So it's 3rd and 3 on their own 22. And you're looking at a 3 and out, buddy. And he throws a pass to Ayuk for 9 in front of Darius Slay. Slay kind of played off him. And I was like, yes. So they got the 1st and down. Oh, I'm sorry, that got it to, there was, Waterboy, listen to this. It was 2nd and 15 because Burford had a false start. He throws the 9 to Ayuk. Right. So it was 3rd and 3, and he hit Kittle. And that was the first down play. Then they had a 3rd and 1. He hit Deebo for 13. And then they got all the way down and had the touchdown play. By the way, the 3rd and goal, and what's his name? Jake Sweat. Is that his name? Josh Sweat. Pardon me, Josh Sweat. Offsides.
Offsides, yeah. Which lined up the opportunity for
the Ayuk dive.
What Kyle Shanahan dialed up a few times yesterday, putting Deebo in that kind of orbit motion.
What the heck? He was going
around Christian McCaffrey. Then there's Brock Purdy on the bootleg left, squares his shoulders up, finds Ayuk in the back of the end zone.
What a catch.
Yeah.
Did you think it was going to get overturned?
I did, honestly. The way that we've seen catches be overturned in the NFL, the ball hit the ground, it moved, but hey, I'm not going to complain about it.
It was that he got saved by the fact that the right hand, I think, was under it, even when it was touching the ground kind of thing.
I
love that we went into Philly, into the link, and jammed a replay review right where the sun don't shine. You know what I mean? And they're like, oh, no. Because they showed the replay, and the link's like, oh. And I'm like, no. That's a touchdown, baby. And you see Ayuk looking to the crowd, and he was going, catch.
Yeah, that's a catch. And you're right about the 49ers going into the link, going into Philadelphia, and finally fulfilling the prophecy of Paul Heyman, who said last year that Purdy is going to conquer the Eagles in Philadelphia. Well, it's a little different when the Rabbits got the gun. It's a little different when Brock Purdy can throw the ball. 49ers put up a 42 spot in Brock Purdy's return.
6 straight touchdowns will live forever. And from 1989, when the Niners had that Joe Montana comeback game in Philly, that's been a fun spot for the 49ers through the years. The Justin Smith game in 2011 when he chased down which ball carrier it was, the signature win of the Harbaugh 2011 season was in Philly. So low-key, the Niners have gone into Philly in huge games and planted the flag in their face.
Yeah.
And the only time the Eagles got him was when the Niners didn't have a quarterback. And by the way, so I hit my guy Schmitty, my signature Philly fan, who's got the Eagles. He used to be the bartender at the Gold Cane on Haight Street, and had a Eagles flag flying 365. And he's been on our show. Mm-hmm. Some might say he's underperformed when he comes on our show.
You can say that, Murph.
So I texted him last night. Because he's very sensitive. So I waited until the final Deebo touchdown that made it 42, and I just sent him the wave emoji.
Oh.
Just that one,
Damn.
That little hand.
Was he in his feelings on the sideline like Jalen Carter crying yesterday?
He wrote back, "It's just one game, man."
Hey, it's a big game, Murph.
All right, guys. Well, listen, the first segment of the Murph and Marcus show in the books. We can address everything, and we will continue to address everything. I'm going to talk about Paulie at the end of the show, guys, so stay tuned on that. Listen, we'll get our guest list on the other side. It's 49ers Eagles Day. The show goes on KNBR 104.5 and 680, the Sports Leader.
I love the Niners. This is really fun.
Livermore. Shout out to you for supporting KNBR, Livermore's sports leader.
Here's what's trending now.
Trending now.
On KNBR.com.
Christian McCaffrey stopped by the 49er postgame show yesterday with Tim Ryan and Greg Papa after the Niners' 42-19 win over the Philadelphia Eagles. So to hear that podcast and more, check out what's trending now on the all-new KNBR app. All right, what's up, everybody? Marcus the Waterboy Boucher here this morning for Prize Picks, and you guys know I love throwing some money on the game, and Prize Picks is the most fun I've had, winning up to 25 times my money this football season, and now I can play during basketball season too. I can even pick combo projections across both sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projection, and place your entry. You can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and an enormous selection of players and stat options are what makes Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. And Prize Pick is the only daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy, keeping you in the game even if one of your players goes down. Join the Prize Pick community of more than 7 million football fans who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/leader and use the code LEADER. That's code LEADER, LEADER, at prizepicks.com/leader for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
And now, time for the Protect Your Assets with David Hollander Business and Technology Report. This has been the Protect Your Assets with David Hollander Business and Technology Report. Do you want to pay less taxes this year? Learn more. Listen to David's show every Saturday morning on KNBR or call 1-866-PROTECT. This is KNBR, and this is Murph and Marcus on KNBR 104.5 and 680, the sports leader.
Do you want to take a few more kneel downs here? They're not going to get enough with the runs. So when they get to 30 runs or more, they win always. That kneel down included the left 28 runs and 146 yards now as you take away a yard. It was tough sledding there for a while, but McCaffrey got going there. And late third quarter, when they ran him 4 straight times into the middle of that defense, nice embrace in midfield. Kyle Shanahan and Nick Sirianni, 2 great coaches, certainly. And the Niners able to win. Deebo Samuel went off today. The bottom line, Tim, is your star players on offense just had magnificent games.
Nah, man, it's just an outfit. I was like, I'm going to just go all black, and didn't know about other players wearing all black. And so, it all clicked and, fit came together well.
I think, me and Deebo, we just great minds think alike.
So there it is. Deebo Samuel and Trent Williams talking about their all blacks. Coincidentally, Marcus and I kind of wearing all blacks today.
Well, you know me,
Kinda.
Murph. The water boy likes to throw out subliminals every morning. So hey, we got some dark gray on. I got black jeans on. We're suited up. I got my all black Air Forces ready to go, Murph.
That's not silver and black on you, is it?
Not on this station, no.
Right, there you go. So obviously every segment will have just try to reset everything, and that is most everybody knows what happened last Wednesday with the end of the Murph and Mac show. In a couple of days to gather and think and go forward and start anew with the Murph and Marcus show. Again, my biggest thanks is that we kept it in the family. Marcus has been with us for years. He knows the deal. He knows the audience. He knows you guys. He's one of you guys. He's one of us.
Yeah, and that was the thing that I tried to put across on Friday also. Like, I've only been with you and Paulie Mac for 3.5, nearly 4 years. And that doesn't measure up to your guys' partnership and everything you guys went through. And I want to make it clear to everybody, I'm not Paulie Mac. I'm not going to be Paulie Mac. I'm not here to replace Paulie Mac. I'm Marcus the Waterboy Boucher, man. I love waking up and talking sports and riffing every morning, so I'm glad that it's me and you still in this chair. Obviously not happy about the other news.
Be yourself, brother, as we all try to do, and that's what Paulie and I tried to do for all those years. So I will address Paulie at length at the end of the show. We have to do the show. We have to talk Niners Eagles, of course. That's what Paulie would want. I told you guys I opened the show with my cornball take that one was for Paulie because, A, it was an absolute whipping of 49er. We play some ball on the West Coast, the zesty West Coast. Young Tony, do we have that? This ain't the zesty West Coast. Oh, it's in the cooler.
Yeah,
okay.
we'll tease it for the cooler, Murph.
But the fact that Big Dom got involved,
Dude,
I laughed and I was like, this is particles from Paulie Mac. He's like, make sure that when the Niners wipe out the Eagles, Big Dom gets ejected. By the way, at the cost of Dre Greenlaw now. So let's pause here. I know we're going to talk Brock and Deebo here for a second, but pause and digress. The ejection of Dre Greenlaw. Now, admittedly, I was emotional yesterday. And again, as the great Vince Vaughn said, I might have had my own things going on. But not even that alcohol fueled. Just one beer.
Wow.
One beer.
All right.
Yeah. How about you?
And that's all it needs. I was going deep this weekend.
Okay.
From Friday night on, Murph.
Yeah, Friday night was big, huh? I shut you guys up for driving all the way up to Mill Valley. How about that? And you never know. You might make new friends when you go
you
there,
never
too.
know who you run
All right?
into up in the valley,
That's
Murph.
another talk.
Yeah.
That's another discussion for another day. But anyway, point is that I was emotional about the whole Dre Greenlaw thing, of course, because I'm, Niner fanboy, homer, the whole deal. But, I will call out, I'd like to think that I call out my players if they, like Draymond. Mm-hmm. I was like, Draymond, that was too much, buddy. That's too much. It was a bad look. And Dre Greenlaw, I was like, you can't take the bait. You can't, even though that Big Dom was there touching.
What the hell is Big Dom even doing there? That's the question.
I mean, he's the head of their security, so he can be there. But what's he doing putting his hands on Dre?
Correct.
That's the catch.
What does he do? Step it in within 5 seconds of a play ending on the field.
So, admittedly, coming from I don't want to be too homerish and too biased, but my view was because Big Dom put his hands on Dre, that Dre should not have been ejected.
No, I don't think he should have either. I don't think someone who's not even participating in the game should have an influence on the game. I don't think that Big Dom, I know he got ejected also, but these aren't comparing apples to apples. Obviously, there's a much, much bigger impact on the 49ers losing Dre Greenlaw than the Philly crowd losing Big Dom.
I mean, so in a way, it played incredible. And that was maybe the only, other than the first quarter, that was the moment in time where you're like, oh, no, here it goes, because it's the link. And by the way, can I comment, I hate how the link always to me comes across as a dark, gloomy place, dude. It's like you watch games in Dallas. It doesn't look dark and gloomy. I mean, I hate the Cowboys. It doesn't look dark and gloomy. You watch games in, I don't know, just pick a place, New England. It doesn't look dark and gloomy. Lambeau Field last night shined. It looked beautiful, right? It's always like the lighting's like not perfect, and then that freaking mist. Yeah. That freaking, what is that mist? It's like a freaking Transylvania. Dracula out there, dude. You see the part where Deebo went to the sideline and was saying, I can't see, and they had to wipe the mist off?
They got to wipe it down, because that's something that we talked about last week leading up to this matchup, whether or not weather was going to have a big impact on this game. Now, it seemed like most of the rain got out of the way before the game started. Did you see what was going on out in Pittsburgh in that game between the Cardinals and the Steelers?
Was it lightning?
They had to delay it a few times because they just kept on saying weather issues.
I don't know what that was.
Well, Murph, you're better at geography than I am. I'm like, okay, well, they're in Pittsburgh. I know Pennsylvania, Philadelphia is not too far away. I thought we were going to have some effects. Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Everything over there is all kind of jumped up
You're not a
together.
Keystone State guy.
Nah, not really.
The Commonwealth, as they call it back there in Pennsylvania.
I was just surprised. Last year when I went to Philly, they're like, yeah, you can drive an hour this way. You're in Baltimore. Drive an hour this way. You're in New York. You're everywhere.
It's about 7 or 8 hours out to Pittsburgh.
Wow.
In fact, here's your little trivia note for today as we teach Marcus U.S. geography. This was taught to me by a guy from Philly. Even though they're in the same state, this is an important difference. Philadelphia is hardcore East Coast. Mm-hmm. Pittsburgh is the Midwest. When you drive from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh, you're changing regions and you're changing mindsets.
All in one state.
You're changing mindsets. Yeah, like Pittsburgh people are not Philly people.
No.
I've been to both cities many times. Philly people, I sent out some texts yesterday about Philly people that I'm glad they're not public. I mean, listen, I would love Schmitty and everything, but when you're mad, you lash out at Philly. Like, you guys are, you can have some words for some Philly people. Pittsburgh people are generally really good-hearted. I know you don't want to hear it as a Raider.
No, I don't want to hear it. But
Murph, Dave doesn't want to hear it.
Yeah, right.
But in general, Pittsburgh people are friendly Midwesterners. Philly people are hard-bitten East Coast, and the worst of the hard-bitten East Coast because they're not glamorous. Like, they constantly live in New York shadow. Mm-hmm. So they have this hard-bitten attitude, we're not New York, we're not New York. And it's really close to New York. It's only like an hour or something. Yeah. I mean, you can get to New York, and it's like from San Jose. I don't want to say San Jose to San Francisco, but kind of.
No,
like
it is quick. But I think the point you're pretty much saying is that Big Dom is from Philly. He's not from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Big Dom is Philadelphia all the way,
to his bones.
So I thought that was just so classic that Big Dom got involved. I could feel Paulie. In fact, Paulie wound up sending me a clip from The Sopranos where a guy named Fat Dom gets whacked. Not really usable, though. It's quite violent. Yeah. Anyway, listen, we planned on talking about Brock and Deebo there, but we got sidelined.
Well, we got sidetracked by Dom.
But
now,
here's my ultimate takeaway is this, though, that truly Dre Greenlaw should not have been ejected for that.
Do you think if it was another player that Greenlaw put his finger/fist in the face of,
I don't think
would have got ejected?
I don't think he's at Draymond Green level yet.
I don't think so either, because here's another example. Like, I know it kind of got passed over during commercial break. Jalen Carter took 2 swipes at Jalen Moore on the extra point attempt.
Yeah.
Like, that was a forehand, a backhand. Like, it was a couple sissy slaps, for being honest with you, but he didn't get ejected. And next thing you know, he's out here crying on the sideline. Like, to me, that's more of an act of a guy swinging on somebody in the game, but there was no punishment for that.
It got, right after the Big Dom incident, dude, it got so chaotic out there. It looked like the refs were going to lose control of the game.
Oh, dude, it did. Like, the very next plays were getting chipped.
Yeah.
The extra point was obviously on top of all that.
It was crazy.
I thought things were going to get out of hand for just a second. And did you start to feel the momentum start to shift back in the Eagles' direction?
So that dude's 21-13. They scored on a freaking brotherly shove, too.
Yeah. Hey, Niners stopped it once.
They did stop it once. Somebody wrote in and said Chase Young yanked Jalen Hurts on that.
Oh, yeah, he grabbed him. He, horse collared him, which is legal. You're allowed to take down a quarterback like that inside the pocket.
Hey, baby. The beginning of the end of the brotherly shove?
You got to find different ways to strategize it. Get a grip on him and pull his ass back.
But I really honestly thought, setting aside Homerish takes and everything, that after Big Dom put his hands on Dre, that should have nullified an ejection. 15's enough. Yeah. 15 was bad enough. And we got 15. They didn't get anything. And so I actually thought that was pretty bad that they did that. All right, time for the guest list, as we always do on a Monday, December 4, 2023. The Murph and Marcus show.
How about that?
I'll talk about Paulie Mack at the end of the show today. Now, one thing young Tony's going to learn is that Triple E used to doll these things up. This is the Air Force Ones of. You can do your own thing though, so you don't have to do it.
That's it. I like that. The all black Air Force One guest list.
You're still doing our guest list?
That's it. That's me. I'm the only one here. So today I'll tell you that we got Hums and Bums in about 20 minutes at 6:50 this morning. Of course, a staple of the morning show. So me and Murph will break down Hums and Bums, your winners and losers of the weekend. Then at 7:35, the Power Hour kicks off with one of our favorite, T-Rock Tim Ryan, breaking down his call of the 49ers win over the Eagles.
This would be a brilliant. I missed my Tarmac Timmy. Did he do it? Did Holler do it yesterday?
I didn't see it. That's a good question.
I'll have to check my Holler Insta or whatever. Or was it Twitter or Insta?
It might have been on X, maybe on Threads.
Okay,
I'm not on there, Murph.
Okay, yes.
I know Mike Holler's a big TikTok guy, but that's pretty much it, Murph. We got Tim Ryan today. We got Hums and Bums. We got the big hit. We got the cooler of content. And we got you and me here together, man.
We got you and me talking Niners Eagles. I love you, kid.
Love you too,
He's
Murph.
a good kid. Hey, everybody. He's a good kid. All right? And he's bringing that youthful energy. And like I said, he's a pretty good-looking kid. We got the Thirst Trap demo going. Okay, so on the other side, we will get into Brock Purdy and where this situation's at. This kid, 301 days after his ligament gets torn, has that kind of day. What did that mean? Where is he in the MVP race? And then Hums and Bums, baby. On a Monday morning, the show goes on KNBR 104.5 and 680, the Sports Leader.
Some fat ass on the sidelines.
Murph and Marcus keep rolling on the Sports Leader and streaming live on YouTube at KNBR 1045.
All right, failed sound there. Young Tony. Young Tony knows what he's doing right now. Young Tony, tell me in my ear who we're listening to here, buddy. This is Avicii The Days.
Avicii,
You
Murph.
down with that, Marcus?
I do not have Avicii in my Rolodex, Murph, to be honest with you.
Are we prey to Young Tony's musical whims right now?
I mean, we're getting into a whole new era now with Young Tony on the board.
Listen.
It's going to be an interesting ride.
So listen, everybody, if you're just getting in your car now, you know the deal, right? You know the deal. The Murph and Mac show is no more. Murph and Marcus has begun amidst all the tumult and emotions, and I will address it to close the show. I just figured that was my decision. I definitely want to say something about Paulie, but I don't want to do it at the start. I just talk Niners, Eagles. Let's get back into our groove here. And I'd been off a couple days thinking about stuff, and so we'll do that at the end of the show. But what you're going to learn is Marcus is family and his family. He's DNA. He's blood. So Paulie loves this kid. I love this kid. I call him a kid. Yeah. He's literally well younger than I am. So this is a good deal.
And you know I love both of you guys, Murph,
I know. So this is not some guy just flew in from Houston. You know what I mean? Like, we got this guy out of Houston. He's been doing middays. You know what I mean?
Check out this hot take, guys. Send subliminals on air.
Actually, I riffed like that. Rod Brooks was flown in from Houston. That worked out. I should have picked a different city.
Yeah. We got some Tuscaloosa or something.
Got some guy from Atlanta, some midday guy from Atlanta who flew in. But anyway, it appears to be that this kid that you see, and why isn't the rectangle up?
Oh, they might have axed the producer box.
No.
I don't know, because our show was the only show that had the producer box.
No, I've seen it. I saw it during the John Dickinson show.
Oh.
Saw it during the John Dickinson show. And by the way, the John Dickinson sound you guys have in the afternoon, Copes is here today, by the way. There's that cut. I got to say, I laughed out loud. There's some cut. It's Paulie Mac-ish. Where the guy says, John Dickinson.
I think that's Derek Papa, actually.
Oh, that's Derek Papa?
Yeah, those are his producing chops.
We get it. You guys know we have a Warriors postgame show. By the way, I've already listened to it twice. Cope's out here filling need. We do need a Warriors postgame show.
Yeah.
I was out getting the Christmas tree water boy.
Oh,
not as organic as a Boucher clan.
Oh, Murph didn't go up there with the axe, with the saw, chopping down a tree. No.
Okay, God bless you for go get your hands dirty, the sap on the hands, feeling the frost in your lungs, all that stuff.
Going hiking around, burning off those Thanksgiving calories.
We literally were at a Christmas tree lot on a frontage road off a freeway. All right, you know what I mean? Not quite as romantic.
Right, yeah.
But anyway, the point is, I was listening to some John Dickinson postgame after that Warrior loss.
Ooh, yeah! Shout out JD and the Warriors on Saturday.
But anyway, the rectangle, if it ever comes back, will show you young Tony, and he'll, if things hold, is going to join the family.
Correct.
And this kid I got to tell you, this kid. Can I mean, I know we want to go Deebo and Brock and everything here, but dude, can I just tell you, you have to understand, young Tony, when you send me something, it's fodder for on air.
Yeah.
Here's
one thing I've told everybody who's worked on his morning show. Anything you tell Murph can and will be used against you, young Tone.
And that goes for me, too.
Yeah.
And you can say, hey, man, as you were saying off air. But anyway, so let's just say, Marcus, the one thing, you have a 100% approval rating with me, except for maybe 99.9 because you've admitted that you have how many hundred unread texts?
Oh, dude, it's over 200. It's bad.
Okay.
I'm a bad texter.
My one ask is if we're going to do this show together, you got to hit the text.
That's it, dude.
Okay,
that's my
You'll meet me halfway on that one?
My New Year's resolution 2024. I'm going to be a better texter. I want to be better in my DMs. I need to just be better communicating in general.
Especially after all the ladies see you on the TV, the DMs.
Hey, now.
Or standing outside a floodwater.
Hey, you never know. You never know.
We'll tell that story one day. But anyway, I was sending out some text to the crew saying, listen, here's what we want to do for tomorrow. And young Tony's reply. So I wrote, loving me, my young Tony reply rate on texts. This kid wrote back. You ready for this? Mm-hmm. I was always taught to listen twice as much as I speak, period. Know your role, period. Put the team first, period. Do your job and don't take things personally, period. I wrote back, you're hired.
That's it.
I read it to Candace, check with Candace. She goes, is this guy for real? She said the kid's amazing.
Is he a real person?
So I was going to tell you, young Tony, they tell you God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth, right? So you got to listen twice as much as. There you go.
That's it.
It doesn't work for me, though.
Yeah.
Because I'm still talking.
And just to make sure that Candace knows that Young Tony is not AI generated. We actually do have a board op. We have a producer. This is not AI generated, despite the fact that there is no camera.
Okay, so Brock Purdy and Deebo Samuel are the focus here, guys, because if I had to pick two guys from that game, and you'll see on Hums and Bums coming up. And by the way, Dante Whitner joining Papa and Lund today at 12:30. I like Whitner's.
Nice.
I like Whitner's sweater yesterday.
I can only imagine what Dante had to say after that game.
It was outstanding. So, Brock Purdy went in there 301 days after his ligament was torn up, and he started 0 for 4 with 2 3-and-outs.
Yeah.
And I watched him jog into the sideline after the second 3-and-out, and I wasn't quite sure what to make of it. He was so placid. And on one way to look at it was, that's a guy who's like, okay, next pitch. Next pitch. 3-and-out. Punting's fine. That's his football. The other part was, this kid's way over his head. He's drowning. He's dying. This is killing me. Were you thinking the first quarter was a disaster and that he was not ready for it?
Well, I didn't know if I'm just going to put it all on Brock Purdy. I thought there was definitely some interesting choices from Kyle Shanahan of not getting Christian McCaffrey the rock at all in the first quarter. That was interesting because we all know the 49ers' bread and butter is running the ball.
That was freaking brutal.
Which sets up the entire offense. Now, Kyle kind of pitching backwards a little bit in that first quarter. It comes down to the defense still giving me some inspiration with holding them to 2 field goals. But really, I just wanted to see, the engine get going. It's like when you turn your car on in the morning, you kind of got to let it heat up for a couple minutes, Murph. That's what I felt like after the 2 3-and-outs, after the 49ers had -6 yards on 6 plays in the first quarter. I was kind of sitting to myself like, all right, this isn't the way it's got to go. And Murph, you know that I'm a degenerate gambler, so I actually went and looked at the live odds. I ended up getting the 49ers +3 in that case, so I had them plus points because they were down 6-0. So, no, I did not lose faith in Brock Purdy.
Live gambling. Somebody was talking to me about that, too. I was with some degenerate over the weekend, and he was telling me, he was telling me, now's the time to get in. It was I was like, what do you mean now? I'm such an old head. I figure the bets are made before the game and that's it. No, it's a living, breathing thing, right?
Some of the sneakiest plays you can get is on a live bet.
Do you have to get in before the next snap kind of thing?
Well, that was the thing. So I saw the 2 Eagles field goals. I saw their third and out, and that's when the line jumped up from +1 to +3 for the 49ers. So it's all about timing. It's like playing the stock market, Murph.
All right, guys, here's the deal. So Brock Purdy comes out on the 15-yard line to start the second quarter, and he goes like this. Here it is. This is the drive that changed it all. They go, McCaffrey, no gain, false start on Spencer Burford. 2nd and 15. Dude, it was looking bad now. 2nd and 15. He hits Ayuk for 12 on the sideline in front of Darius Slay. Darius Slay was playing back.
Big play Slay.
3rd and 3. What do you do here? He hits George Kittle short left. Great play design. Then he goes Ayuk for 9. Then they give it to McCaffrey. But 3rd and 1. He hits Deebo over the middle for 13. That was the play that got it up to midfield. Do you remember that? They showed that he'd hit Deebo on a little short crossing route. They get to the 47-yard lane. McCaffrey runs for 11. That felt good. And then they designed that play where Kittle came in motion, and then they hit him going right, and he ran 32 yards down to the 10-yard line. And then you were like, oh, the Niners.
Now they're starting to cook.
Yes.
Next thing you know, Kyle Shanahan's getting creative, putting Deebo in that orbit motion, sending guys left and right.
So here's Brock Purdy about, coming back to Philly, ligament torn up, and having to stay calm and get it done.
It was sort of in my mind. Yeah, man, I got hurt here. That was this year, late in January. But was it going to be the revenge game or anything like that? No. For me, it was week 13. We're going into it's a new year, a hostile environment. We needed this game. We need this game. And obviously we have some really important games coming up too. So that's where I was at with that. I didn't want to get distracted by, I got to go back and show everybody what could have happened or what could have been. Got a new team. This is 2023, and that's where my mind was at.
I mean, this kid. So is he the NFL MVP right now?
I mean, the fact that Murphy's doing this less than 1 year from tearing his UCL, avoided Tommy John surgery, had the internal brace surgery, and now he's back walking into Philadelphia, posting 42 points with this offense. What else does this kid need to do? Because last night, truly to me, was Brock Purdy's MVP moment. Walking into the link, passing for 314 yards, 4 touchdowns. I mean, last week I did a bunch of blind tests. Tell me who's the system quarterback, who's the elite quarterback, comparing the passing numbers between Jalen Hurts and Brock Purdy. And Brock Purdy has better passing numbers in every single statistical category. The only thing that he was missing was an MVP-type moment. Well, yesterday on a national stage, on America's Game of the Week, That was Brock Purdy's MVP performance, and that's why this morning, you look at those odds out in Las Vegas, look who's at the top. It's Brock Purdy, Jalen Hurts, and Dak Prescott.
Jalen's still up there?
All essentially have the same odds, plus 350 to win the MVP, but now he's in that conversation nationally.
Sunday night, Eagles-Cowboys will determine some of that. And all right, well, listen, it's fun talking Niners-Eagles. Obviously, everybody knows we're dealing with a big situation here. The Murph and Mac show and the history, and I'll address it at the end of the day, just kind of my feelings on my guy. But this is my guy here, Marcus Boucher. And what do we do at this time in the morning? Hums and bums. That's what you're used to, right?
You're damn
We've done this before, so Marcus has filled in a ton. So we've done hums and bums a bunch. So nothing new, baby.
No.
Your routine is the same for hums and bums. Next on KNBR 104.5 and 680, the Sports Leader. All right, let's talk about...
From the Chilton Auto Body Traffic Desk.
All right, let's talk Provident Credit Union. Making you money, right? And saving you money. All good. You take control of your finances. We're talking about making an investment on your own term. This is the Pick a Term certificate from Provident Credit Union, the ultimate solution to help grow your savings just the way you want. So with the Pick a Term certificate, you're in the driver's seat. With a 3, 6, 9, or 12-month term, you enjoy an unbeatable annual percentage yield of 4.75%. You heard it right, 4.75%. So whether you're budgeting for short-term goals or long-term plans, this offer puts you firmly in control to grow your investments your way. So don't hesitate. This offer is only for a limited time. Visit providentcu.org today to learn more and start your application. Rate is effective October 1st, 2023. Minimum balance requirement of $10,000. Early withdrawal penalties may apply. Federally insured by the NCUA. For additional info, please visit providentcu.org.
What do you want? Same as you, to remember.
Time now for Total Recall.
San Francisco!
A look back at the highs and lows of the weekend in sports.
Get ready for a surprise!
Sponsored by Amici's East Coast Pizzeria. When you want the best pizza in town, Amici's delivers.
All right, so here's the deal, everybody. If you're just getting your car, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is me, Brian Murphy is my name, and I've been doing this for a while. And something significant happened on Wednesday, and that was Paulie Mack was let go by Cumulus. And obviously, we've all had our reactions, and I will address it a more lengthy comment at the end of the show. I just wanted to save it to the end of the show. And it's been emotional for all of us, but the good news is that we kept it in the family, and Marcus Boucher is sitting to my left right now. Marcus, the water boy, El Chico de Agua, Bobby Boucher, the young kid out of Homestead High in Sunnyvale, California. First team all-league football and baseball, don't you know? Mm-hmm. How about that?
Tell him, Murph.
So Marcus, family member, takes over, Murph and Marcus. And, you know, some things may change as the new year comes in terms of elements and the way we do the show. The essence of the show remains the same. We try to be a fun, enjoyable place to start your morning, start your Bay Area sports. And that starts with Hums and Bums, which we've been doing forever because years ago, we got to have a vehicle for sound from the headlines, you know? So we invented Hums and Bums. And so we alternate every week. Starts out with Marcus being Bum Babies. I told him, and I want to thank you for taking Bum Babies. I said, I think my head's not right for bums. I need something to bring me up for Hums. So thank you. And Marcus, tell me straight up, who are the losers from this weekend?
Well, I'll point at our number one loser of the weekend, Murph. I'll be here to be the bad guy, and I've got no problem stomping on the grave of the Philadelphia Eagles. Our first bum baby of the week
right now,
after Barack Purdy. Finally lives up to the message that Paul Heyman sent last year. Goes into Philadelphia, absolutely conquers the Eagles. We'll break down our hum babies from that 49er performance, but I want to focus on the negatives. I want to focus on the bums. I want to focus on big-ass Dom on the sideline going back and forth with Dre Greenlaw. First of all, what the hell was that? Get the hell off the sideline. You're security. You should not be in that situation. So, Big Dom, you're a bum baby. Nick Sirianni with that ugly face that pisses off my guy Paulie Mack, you're a bum baby. Nicholas Morrow, you're getting beat by Christian McCaffrey, you're a bum baby. DeAndre Swift, how'd you like that hit from Deommodore Lenoir? You're a bum baby. Jalen Hurts, the brotherly shove, you're a bum baby. To all those Philly fans that were hitting the Brock Purdy pinata, guess what? Deebo Samuel showed up to the link and started snatching gold chains, gold links, Cuban links. 49ers sending a message, 42-19. The Philadelphia Eagles are your bum babies.
It's not a matter of winning or losing. It's just about playing to the standard, and we didn't play to the standard. Typically, when you play to the standard, you win. And I don't think we played to the standard and won yet. We didn't play to the standard, and today we lost.
We didn't play well enough, and they coached really well, and we didn't coach well enough. At the end of the day, that's what it is, and it was a little uncharacteristic, the missed tackles. But, you know, Deebo and McCaffrey and Kittle, those guys do a good job, and Ayuk, they do a good job of breaking tackles as well.
I don't think we did a lot of things right. We didn't tackle, we didn't cover. Obviously, we missed a bunch of plays. They made a bunch of big plays. We had a chance to keep the game close, and we didn't.
All right, so Jalen Hurts, Nick Sirianni, Fletcher Cox.
All bum babies.
What I heard from them after the game was that they talked about tackling. And I was wondering, actually, so this is the angle that we talked about going into the game that we haven't addressed since coming out, is the fatigue factor. Did any of them say that they were tired because they had that long overtime game against the Bills and the Niners were rested? Did it not look like the Niners were fresher as the game went on?
Well, not in that first quarter.
No,
and especially
as the game went on.
Yeah, as the game went on, definitely. You definitely felt some of that. But the fact that the 49ers only ran 6 plays for a -6 yards in the first quarter, I think that kind of gave that Philly defense an extra rep, not snaps on the field, but you're right. In the second half, it was all Deebo, it was Kittle, it was Christian McCaffrey.
Dude,
it was grown man football out in Philadelphia.
They exposed. You mentioned that guy Nick Morrow. I couldn't have told you much about Nick Morrow going in. He was exposed. That kid Reed Blankenship got beat a couple times.
That's it. Shout out to Colton McKivitz giving Blankenship a little extra at the end of one of Christian McCaffrey's runs.
What was it? Greg Olsen coming back from commercial to spotlight what he thought was a hold by Ronnie Bell or whatever. It's like, bro, what are you talking? We can do this every freaking play.
Oh, he was out here talking about how great Lane Johnson was blocking Nick Bosa when they got into a wrestling match on the outside and tried to pancake him down, man. All these guys are bum babies.
All right.
And I think Brandon Ayuk was right. The 49ers offense exposed that Eagles defense, something he talked about last year after the NFC Championship game. Eagles back to being bum babies this week. Being the first loss at home, 49ers got the privilege of beating the Eagles at the link, and that's why your Eagles are your #1 bum baby this morning. Now, Murph, it's time for me to be the bad guy because we got to keep things local and take a look at the Golden State Warriors, who on Saturday, in case you missed it, blew another 20-point lead, this time losing to Paul George and the LA Clippers. Now, Murph, this is the second 20-point lead in the last 7 days. We just got done talking about the Kings lighting the beam in the in-season tournament, blowing that 24-point lead. Well, guess what? Welcome back to the Warriors Invitational. They did it again this weekend. They were up 22 points. The Clippers didn't take a lead until the final 8.9 seconds of the game. Paul George with a three-pointer over Klay Thompson. It was abysmal shooting from the Dubs in the second half, 5 of 21 from 3, and Steph Curry shot 1 for 9 in the second half. I hate to do it.
Yeah.
Your Golden State Warriors bum babies this morning.
Steph on man at 8. Steph on 7. Drop back. Rimmed it out. Rebound Westbrook. A 2 ties it, a 3 wins it. Clippers don't take time. George, step back 3. Got it! LA's first lead of the afternoon. Curry on Kawhi. MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. Down to 3. Curry and 2. Draymond to win the game. And that'll do it.
To me, it felt like we deserved to win tonight. We took care of the ball. We kept them off the foul line. We showed poise when they made their runs. So this one hurts way more than the Sacramento game.
Well, a loss is a loss. I think Sacramento, we were reeling. And we were figuring it out. I don't think we're reeling now.
Okay, couple of things. I know we got to get going on the last bum and then get to hum babies here. As, by the way, I tell you, you are listening to KNBR and KNBR FM San Francisco, the sports leader.
Thank you.
A Cumulus media station. Is that so? Number one, I'm glad that you made them bum babies, and I want to spotlight the fact that I was able to dive into the new Warriors OT show on KNBR. I listened to it Saturday, getting the Christmas tree, so I was able to dissect that loss. So shout out John Dickinson and that whole deal that's going on after Warriors games. Next Warrior game is Wednesday, I believe, against OKC. Yeah, Wednesday? Or is it Thursday? Thursday? Wednesday? Wednesday? Okay, so Wednesday, you'll get more of that, too. Number two, dude, and we're going to have to discuss this as the weeks go on, Steve Kerr. We got to talk about Steve Kerr and what's going on this year.
I felt like we deserved to win that one,
And number three, I'm going to tell you just a little slice of life here, Waterboy. As you know, I'm just going to inject my personal life into this whole thing. So Saturday, after I meet with you for a nice lunch and some young ladies chat up Marcus outside of Floodwater
Hey,
and say,
now.
literally, ready for this, young Tony? The other said, hey, where are you going next?
Yeah.
How about that?
That's a great question.
How's that for?
I'm still trying to figure it out, young Tony.
How's that for a question that generally has positive, encouraging undertones? You know what I mean? Not necessarily. You walk out of a restaurant, there's some woman standing out. She says to Marcus, hey, where are you going next?
While hitting the vape too, Murph. That's an important detail. Hey, where are you going next?
I was like, that's not exactly, that's what I would call a welcoming invitation. That's what I would call that. So anyway.
I understand,
We'll
Murph.
get to that story later. So I slid out because I had to go to a holiday winter concert to see little Rory Murphy play the cello.
Ooh,
It
on
was
the
really
cello,
cute.
huh?
Yeah, very
Get
cute,
down,
very
yeah.
cute. But so Declan and I are going, we're standing in the middle of this holiday fair. People are selling crafts and tea towels and sweaters and paintings and Santa candles. And I'm like, what's going on in the game? So we're watching it on it's an app called Reel. That has, you guys know the app called Reel, where it's live time sports, REEL. Dude, check it out.
Okay.
It's unbelievable. Anyway, he walks over to me and holds up the phone and says, Draymond missed the last shot. And he holds me the phone and says the final guy said, and we're sitting there as the kids are playing the cello. What the hell's Draymond doing taking the last shot? And then we had to go back and find out Curry passed it to him after Curry had missed a shot earlier in that minute. So anyway, want to make sure that we get some Bum Baby vibes out there. It's going to be an interesting month ahead for these guys, but we got to move on to the last Bum Baby.
That's it. 2 Bum Babies down, 1 left to go. And Murph, I might need some help from Saturday Murph here because we're going through the world of college football for our 3rd and final Bum Baby. I know we focused a lot on the NFL in this market, but it was a huge, huge story in the world of college football after the 4 playoff teams were announced. Number 1, Michigan. Number 2, Washington. Number 3, Texas. And number 4, Alabama, which makes Florida State University our final Bum Baby. Woo! Now the question is it the committee or Florida State who should be the Bum Baby this morning? Because Florida State is the first ever undefeated power conference team to miss the 14 playoff. Now eventually they're going to move away from the 14 playoff, but this was the final year of this format. And now we're seeing a bit of history, folks. Alabama sneaks through the back door after eliminating Georgia in the SEC championship. It's the first time ever that the number 1 team from the week prior to the final rankings is eliminated from the playoffs. Georgia does not get in. Florida State does not get in. And instead, Alabama, who lost to Texas earlier this year, are now in the college football playoffs. 3rd and final Bum Baby, the entire committee, and of course, Florida State going undefeated and missing the playoffs.
Who will be in the college football playoff for the 2023 season? Final rankings from the selection committee. The number 1 team in the country is Michigan. Who's number 2? We assume it will be the Washington Huskies. And it is indeed. Here's the 3rd team that was taken off and put on the board. Who's number 3? The Texas Longhorns. Let's look now at number 6 and see who's been eliminated and see what the final decision came down to. Who's number 6? The Georgia Bulldogs. This leaves us with the decision that everyone thought we would end up having. Florida State or Alabama. 1 spot. Whoever's 4 plays Michigan. Number 5, heartbroken. Who's number 4? And Alabama returns to the playoff, and so we have another unprecedented situation as Florida State winds up at number 5, and Florida State is the first undefeated champion from a Power 5 conference to fail to make the field in the college football playoff era.
You know, I was just hurt for our players. I mean, to be honest with you, that was it was one of the tougher moments that I've had to experience, and just for all that they've done. You talk to a team about responding to adversity, getting up and going to give all that you can to be able to find a way to win a college football game. It's all part of it. And as we tell our team all the time, your truest identity shows up in times of great adversity, and we faced it, and they put it on display.
Okay, first of all, great Bum Baby, Marcus. But I have many thoughts on this, but I want to get back into the Niners-Eagles. But dude, because I'm a college football head, as you know. Some people call me Saturday Murph.
I call you Saturday Murph.
So anyway, the point is that my entire the entire thing was set up to fail. This is why ever since the BCS and the CFP, this entire thing was set up to fail. So we're like pointing fingers. Well, it's on Florida State. No, it's on the committee. No, it's on Alabama. No, it's on Georgia. What about Ohio State? The entire thing is set up to fail. I got 2 answers for you, and I know I got to go quick because I want to get to the hum babies. But number 1, I've always said it has to be an 8-team playoff. I used to brawl with old Pat Connor about that. He went with the BCS, which is terrible.
No, it's even
but you
worse.
got to go with an 8-team playoff. The 5 conference champions and 3 wild cards, and off we go. That's the best way to do it, okay? And I don't care about diluting the regular season. It's not going to dilute the regular season. Still, the regular season will still be important. Give me the 8. The other thing I'd say is, and this is the ultimate old head take, when I was growing up, they didn't have any of this stuff, and you just played 4 New Year's Day bowl games, and you know what? It pretty much worked out. So I've done it. Like if this was 1987, Rose Bowl would be Michigan, Washington.
I'll take that.
The Sugar Bowl would be Alabama, Ohio State. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The Cotton Bowl would be Texas, Oregon, and the Orange Bowl would be Florida State, Georgia. And those 4 games would be played, and at the end, more than likely, you're going to have a champion. Well, the Michigan, Washington, Rose Bowl champ, or Florida State, Georgia. But either way, the point is that it sorted itself out.
Yeah.
That said, the system is the bum baby. You can make arguments any way you want. You can make an argument for Ohio State.
Correct.
They only lost to the number 1 team by 3 points on their stadium.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm glad you made it a bum baby, but we got to move on.
Yeah, we got to. And we should point out that Jordan Travis is hurt, quarterback for Florida State, so that maybe had a huge impact in the committee's decision to go in a different direction. But yeah, I'm glad we're done with the 4-team playoff. Florida State,
yes.
You know what? Sometimes in life you're going to get boned. They got boned this weekend. They missed the college football playoffs.
This is the last time, because next year we go to actually they're going to 12, which I think is too many. I don't like 12.
It should be better than 4, Murph.
On to the hum babies. And it starts with one man and one man only. And he walked in all black and what Dante Whitner described on NBC Sports Bay Area, quote, ice that's about 250K, unquote. These are language that I do not speak in the suburbs, okay?
That means Deebo was dripping.
As I'm coaching CYO 6B basketball, I don't talk ice that's worth 250K. What is that? So he walked in all black. That's right. Hum baby number 1 is Deebo Samuel. What do you want? Not 1, not 2, but 3 touchdowns. The iconic waving goodbye to the fans. After all that talk, so much delivery.
It's Eli Mitchell now in, but it's an end around to Deebo Samuel coming right, turns the corner, and goes into the end zone. Touchdown! Looks left now, middle, throws, caught. Broken tackle by Deebo Samuel, runs for a first down, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Deebo Samuel is loose, touchdown! San Francisco.
Deebo. Yeah, baby!
I think he's had that for a few weeks now. I mean, Deebo was banged up for a little bit, missed some games. He's been getting back into his rhythm, and he's been really close here for a couple weeks now, and he got the ball in some good situations. And when he does, when I say good situations, I mean to get like 6 to 8 yards, and he turns it into what you guys see. So he's as good as there is when that ball's in his hands, and people don't like to tackle him.
Man, oh man, what a performance by this kid. So, Marcus, pretty much the losing streak coincided with his absence, right?
2 guys, Deebo Samuel and Trent Williams. The 49ers are undefeated when both those guys are in the lineup, Murph.
That's kind of it.
Yeah.
Right there. So, I mean, when the guy performed, I mean, I got to tell you, on a field of NFL athletes, he glowed neon orange. Like he was the demonstrably best athlete on the field. On a field of world-class elite athletes.
And did you see the next-gen stats that came out yesterday of him hitting 22 miles per hour on the field? We haven't seen Deebo run like that for a while.
Did you see the next-gen stat that his percentage to score a touchdown from the touchdown that changed it all was 21-13 when they were coming back and it was starting to be a little bit like, uh-oh, here we go. Big Dom got the ejection and all that stuff. The pass that he caught at the 48 and then just took off for that long.
Housed it, yeah.
Housed it. Mm-hmm. The next gen stats said he had a 0.1% chance to score a touchdown when he caught that ball.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Very
and
good.
By the way, I want to shout out George Kittle blocking downfield on that play also, whether it was Kittle, whether it was Trent Williams, whether it's Christian McCaffrey out front blocking on one of those Deebo touchdowns also. No block, no rock. Deebo got that rock this weekend.
Kittle, run it again.
Murph.
So Deebo Samuel for setting the tone in the, what are they again, the Black Air Force?
The all black Air Forces, Murph.
Do you own them?
I do not know. That's a past life.
I guess you're never coming to settle the business.
That's it. No,
you're not going to, quote, stand on business?
No, I don't need to.
By the way, did you see Deebo's Instagram post?
No, I did not.
Oh, could do a whole show on that. It's a multi-slide presentation that has a lot of meaning and subtext and symbolism and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, go ahead and hit more of that, dude. My Dizzog.
My Dizzog.
You tell me what some of this stuff means, because again, it's out of my. The phrase he has is "stand on all 10."
Oh, 10 toes down, Murph.
Okay, what does that mean?
That means you stand up and you fight for what's yours, Murph. You're standing up, you're here, you're 10 toes down. You're not running. You're not 7 or 8 or 9 toes down. You're 10 toes down.
If I've had a horrible frostbite accident and I've lost a toe, I got to stand on all 9 or what?
Who's that old NFL kicker that had like half a foot? He ain't standing on 10 toes.
So you got to tell me, go into that Deebo Instagram post and poke around on that.
That's it. I'll be your Deebo decoder.
Are those the Air Force?
It'll be like that.
Are those the Air Force ones?
Oh, those are the all black Air Forces.
Yes.
How about him, McCaffrey, Trent Williams, and Fred Warner all showing up in all black?
I'm showing that on the YouTube and the Twitch right
all
there.
Black forces. It means business, Murph.
Yeah, so he made sure to wear them for the warm-ups. He didn't wear them during the game.
No,
they're not cleats.
No.
So anyway, go check it out. Didn't they have a picture of SpongeBob wearing the Air Force, the all black Air Force?
He's got SpongeBob.
What is that?
Ready to go.
I'm telling you, there's layers going on.
That's the internet, Murph. That's the internet.
All right. So do you think he's got a social media team? That's not Deebo on the flight doing that, is he?
It might be.
Yeah, he's not.
In this day and age of everybody doing their own podcasts and posting memes and stuff, it might be.
Hum Baby number 2. Can I turn it over to wrestling heel Paul Heyman?
Purdy!
Jesus, how many times is this going to make Hum Baby? This is like his 4th week in a row. And let me tell you, Paulie, that's going to happen on the show.
There's one.
Marcus, if I was mic'd up in the first quarter, you would not be hearing Hum Baby. I was a very salty character. The 2 3 and outs were very distressing to say the least, but guess what? Who's more calm than me? Brock Purdy. Who understands next pitch more than me? Brock Purdy. Who breathed more than me? Brock Purdy. Because he came on the field on the 15-yard line, false start, 2nd and 15 on the 10, and led, we'll call it a 90-yard drive because it went back to the 10. A couple of critical third down passes. The pass to Ayuk that changed it all, the Ayuk dive, and then 6 straight touchdown drives. Hum Baby number 2, Brock Purdy.
And no play action, a roll by Purdy. Purdy going to pump throw for the end zone. Caught by Brandon Ayuk. Touchdown! 3rd down and 5. Purdy looks left. Purdy throws left. Caught. You know who? Jawan Jennings breaks a tackle. Touchdown! Twist the front. Purdy throws out left. McCaffrey's got it. A wheel route down the sideline. They got him singled up there, and he took advantage of the coverage of Nicholas Morrow.
And especially for myself as a quarterback, I just needed to see myself completing a ball, get a completion, get things rolling, and we did that. And so Kyle called some plays to allow us to get the ball out of my hands pretty quick, just to get into a rhythm. And once we did that, we rolled from there and we didn't look back.
This kid is something else, man. I don't know what to make of this kid. I can't get over it. I mean, that was a performance of performances. So he starts 0 for 4, Marcus, and then finishes 19 of his last 23. Okay, 314 yards, 4 touchdowns. Are we into that rating again? 148.
I'll take it, Murph.
148.
And you know what else I'll take? Is Brock Purdy at the top of the list on MVP favorites now.
One last Paul Heyman, please. Yes. Okay, and then finally, Hum Baby number 3, and this is an interesting one because I wanted to pay tribute to these guys, but there was no signature play or standout performer, so I'm just going to give game ball to the 49ers defense.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because listen to what we were not feeling awesome when the Niners got outgained in the first quarter 100 million to 1, but quietly, there was a feeling that holding them to 2 field goals was the difference in the game. Holding them to 2, and it goes back to a Mooney Ward 3rd down PBU pass breakup in the goal line.
Maybe the biggest play of the game.
Maybe. And then on the second field goal try, it was set up by, you ready for this? A Javon, I'm doing air quotes now on TV, a Javon Kinlaw sack. Jalen Hurts fell down.
The first sack that Kinlaw's gotten, what did it say, 3 years?
But those were the key plays, and from that point on, Silk Wilkes' crew did their thing, and they had that game plan to contain the edge and keep Jalen Hurts in the pocket. And that meant that they were not going to They weren't playing for the sack all the time, and that meant there were times it was infuriating how long Hurts had, but the coverage held up.
Dude, he
Are
was
Thomas
dancing
and
back there.
Lenore playing?
They're playing phenomenal. And once they got Thomas on the field to move Diamador and Lenore inside, it's changed that Steve Wilkes defensive backfield.
Somebody wrote in, and do you agree with this? The Niners got away with a lot of physical play that some officiating crews would not let them on DB play.
I mean, it was an extremely physical game on both sides of the ball, regardless. Like, there's a lot of things that
You're saying it wasn't like the Niners were getting calls and the Eagles were not.
No, I don't think. I'm not going that far.
All right, hum baby number 3, Niner D. Here you go.
A.J. Brown left. He's going to A.J. Brown one-on-one. Swatted away by Charvarius Ward.
Perfect coverage.
Quick throw out left. Broken up by Ambry Thomas.
Oh, Ambry had a chance to make a play on that football. That is big time.
Plenty of time. Pumps now does throw over the middle. Caught by Swift. He got blasted by Lenore. No catch to DeAndre Swift, the back, who caught the ball momentarily. Then Demo Lenore popped him. That's a Brian Dawkins hit. Boom.
Everyone gets paid in this league, so we believe we can all make plays on those receivers. But the discussion was we'd rather have our $40 million against their $100 million or whatever.
They got after us good today. Again, a lot of credit to them. They're a really good football team. We didn't play our best game, and they're really good. You can't play that way against and coach that way against a really good team.
There you go. That was Ambry Thomas saying, yeah, we made our plays, and then Nick Sirianni eating a big bowl of it right there. So there's your hum babies. Niners defense, Brock Purdy and Deebo Samuel standing on all 10. And those are your hum babies and bum babies. Tim Ryan at 7:35 on KNBR 104.5 and 680, the Sports Leader.
From the Chilton Auto Body Traffic Desk.
Richmond, shout out to you for supporting KNBR, Richmond's sports leader.
Let's talk meat, cheese, and holiday catering. It's the holiday season, y'all. By the way, I wasn't expecting that rain this weekend. That was not on my app. At least we got in the North Bay. Anyway, it makes it feel like the holiday season. We got our Christmas tree. It's feeling like the holiday season, so it's time to have a meat, cheese, cater your holiday party. Okay, it's time to have company holiday parties, all right? Get people back. And a meat, cheese has the full range to make it ideal for you. Portion sizes, whether it's a big group or a medium group or whatever, you can order all your favorite pizzas and salads and pastas and flame roasted chicken wings and lay them out on the table, baby, and the group can have a big old honking buffet, holiday buffet. It's a beautiful thing. It's a more economical way to feed a large group, still bringing that great Amici's pizza. So I'd urge you to check out the catering menu at amicis.com, all right, AMICIS.com. And when you want to enjoy a fully customized and catered holiday party this year, 2 words, baby, Amici's delivers.
And now, time for the Protect Your Assets with David Hollander Business and Technology Report. This has been the Protect Your Assets with David Hollander Business and Technology Report. Concerned inflation will ruin your dream retirement? Learn more. Listen to David's show every Saturday morning on KNBR or call 1-866-PROTECT. Now, back to Murph and Marcus on the Sports Leader and streaming live on KNBR.com and the KNBR app.
Well, there's no doubt the head of security had his hand in the chest of Dre Greenlaw.
Is he have to leave the sideline?
Backwards.
He's walking. Maybe they're asking.
He should get ejected also.
He is being asked to leave, but he's not a player. Dom DeSandro is their head of security here in Philly. He is going back inside.
And who knows what he said to Dre Greenlaw as he was pushing him backwards.
He's going to be the most popular guy in Philly this week, without a doubt. There goes Dom. They're going to take that trade-off. Great linebacker for a head of security, does not play.
Man, I mean, when you're in a hostile environment like this, something like that happens where Dre gets ejected and then they get momentum. For us on offense, we're like, man, if we just keep scoring, we're already ahead. So foot on the gas pedal, and we got Dre's back.
Well, there it is. The two names you need to know: Brock Purdy and Dom DeSandro. Dude, you cut him open, he's got gravy coming out of his veins. That guy. I told everybody when the show started, and good morning, everybody. It is obviously a surreal day. It's a day where we move on because life moves on and the show moves on. But obviously, it's an emotional day for all of us because Paulie Mack, our guy, is no longer with us, and that's something we'll address at the end of the show. But the one thing I said, and I said this when we opened the show, is I'm glad it's family here. Marcus Boucher, who's been with us for almost 4 years and knows the rhythms of the show and knows what you want in the morning, and he knows you guys. And as long as he doesn't throw subliminals.
That's it. No subliminals. I promise. Actually, I can't promise that, Murph.
But, I mean, you had your own relationship with Paulie.
Correct.
And so, I mean, we're all going through our own individual things. And this is business and this is life. But we are here to talk Niners, Eagles, and get you guys through. And like I said, I'll talk about Paulie around 9:45. It's been a crazy few days, and we've been in contact with Paulie a lot. He by the way, he loved that game. And I just thought that the big Dom incident had Paulie particles written all over it. I mean, every Italian soundbite, every Sopranos cut. It's hilarious. So,
whoa, you talking Italian?
There you go,
and
buddy.
We are, Murph. We are.
I mean, and by the way, as a man who's proudly half Italian, my mother's 100% Italian, hence the good looks, guys. Hence the good looks. It's that these guys with their Italian flags on their visors and everything, it was like, come on, man, what do you guys do? I mean, listen, I love it. I'm proud. Yeah. San Francisco Italian Athletic Club, where you and I have broken bread and drank beers.
That's true, Murph. That is a true story.
But when it's the Eagles, I'm like, yeah, I don't like it. So this incident, listen, it wasn't like they were throwing haymakers at each other. It was kind of little flicking each other kind of thing, you know what I mean? But what pissed me off the most is that, everybody's like, what's this guy doing on the thing? Well, he's their head of security. So he should probably be on in case somebody jumps on goes after Sirianni or something.
Yeah, but does he have to be holding the pocket of Nick Sirianni while the play's going on?
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And it's funny, there's all these stories online right now on Big Dom. Who is Big Dom? Who is Dom DeSandro and all that stuff? So I texted my guy Schmitty in Philly. I said, by the way, blank Dom DeSandro. That's what I said to him. And he said, even Schmitty said, yeah, I have no idea what he was doing putting his hands on Dre Greenlaw there. So even Schmitty was reasonable about that.
Wow, a reasonable Eagles take.
I know. Although he said to me earlier when I just gave him the wave emoji, he's like, it's just one game, man. I was like, dude, last week you texted, bring it to the link.
Yeah, he was telling us about how we've known about this game since it was scheduled last year.
Yeah.
Everybody did.
So he said to me that Dom DeSandro is the son of the guy who was Buddy Ryan's head of security. Now, Buddy Ryan, for people who don't know, one of the more controversial NFL head coaches through the 80s and 90s. This guy he actually threw punches. He actually got into fistfights on the sidelines. Yeah. He was out of his mind. He was Mike Ditka's defensive coordinator in the 85 Bears. He was actually more famous than Ditka. He was the coordinator of the 46 defense that was many consider the greatest defense in NFL history.
Correct.
And then he went to Philadelphia, and he installed a brawling mentality there, and he had Dom DeSandro's dad. So this guy we're watching is like a nepotism kid.
Dude, that's it.
Yeah.
I was going to say, the only thing missing from this story is a little bit of nepotism. Because who the hell is this Dom DeSandro guy? Like, I know we complain a lot about Nick Sirianni and his face, but this is the face we're going to see leading up to maybe an NFC Championship rematch. Like, if there was a scenario where the Eagles would have came back yesterday, used that as momentum, then we're talking about his face on T-shirts, his face on billboards.
Well, okay.
He would have been the biggest dude in Philadelphia, literally and figuratively.
When he was walking off the field and the Eagles were about to go in and score, I was not gripping, but I was in serious mode. I was like, things are getting real right now. Things are getting real. And Papa said it right. Greg Papa's right. This guy can be the biggest hero in Philadelphia. Although, dude, they wound up losing 42-19. In fact, did we call that in?
See, that hits a little different, Murph.
Did we call that in?
Let's call it in.
Let's call that in officially, because I know some things have changed. Some things stay the same. The old newspaper guy. We got Steve Silk Wilkes. He's got a call in the score. It ain't official until it goes in the books. He calls Roger Goodell. Goodell goes, wait a minute. You guys were in Philly, right? He said, yeah, we were in Philly. He said, wait, but they're 10-1. He said, no. Overpaid mannequin. They're 10-2. Put it in the book. San Francisco 49ers 42, Philadelphia Eagles 19.
Beautiful people. Beautiful people.
Bang, bang, Niner gang. Bang, bang, Niner gang.
Oh, hell yeah.
There it is, man. So the thing that really upset me, though, was that Greenlaw got ejected. Now, I know they say, he made contact with a non-combatant or whatever.
Yeah, kind of. Like he flicked his nose.
No, Big Dom put his hands on him first.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So that, to me, should negate the ejection. First of all, 15's bad enough.
Yeah, and I think they try to justify it by saying, oh, look,